Paper, Scissors is a new animated series on Nickelodeon, and it's the hilarious life of three best friends and roommates, Thomas Lennon, Ron Funches, and Carlos Alazraqui, here all to join me. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having us, Rudy.
So I'm a fan of all three of you, but you're actually longtime friends. Is this a full circle moment for this project to actually be happening?
Absolutely, very meta.
It is. I was saying there, like, it's not impossible. There could have been a period of our lives where the actual three of us could have actually been roommates living in a tiny apartment. The only difference is I don't think Eddie Pepitone could have ever been our landlord. I don't think the real Eddie Pepitone's organized enough to look after an apartment building that.
And somebody as wonderful as Melissa Villasenor would never hang out with us.
Probably not.
No.
Thomas, let's go ahead and start with you. As far as Paper goes, a little bit about his personality, and did you channel anyone from Chicagoland growing up into this character?
Well, as a person from Chicagoland, of course, Paper in the classic game is just this. Is your hand flat. So this is a very, very good type of role for me. It's a great character. But the Paper is sort of considers himself to be the smartest person in the room. He's the roommate who's building time machines and things like that, because almost anything can happen in their apartment, which is nice. And then no matter how much these three sort of very flawed but very codependent characters, no matter how much they learn, we really forget it by the next episode, which is awesome. Yeah, we forget all the important stuff. We forget, which is nice. Yeah.
Awesome. And then Ron, as far as Rock goes, and your son, who's 2 years old, how is he inspiring not just this character, but the projects that you're choosing?
Oh, thank you for asking. My son actually is a big motivation for how I play Rock. Rock is a very emotional character, and with my son being a toddler, seeing his ability to go off the deep end on both crying and then laughter, and in 1 minute be just hungry, and the next minute just want Peppa Pig. And I kind of take that type of emotional roller coaster into Rock, where he is able to access his emotions very quickly. As far as choosing my projects, I just look for something that I like, something like this that I can show my kids and have them watch something I do, as opposed to it be a bad idea.
Carlos, I mean, there's so many voices that I love of yours. All the emotions that Scissors is going through. Do you go through the catalog of all the voices that you've done and pull out different pieces, or is this kind of a fresh start for every character that you do?
Yeah, out of all of them, this might have been the most difficult because it was the least broad of them. Wasn't way up here out or crazy like Crocker. He sort of had to be likable, but not likable. And I think Josh and Kyle really worked to develop that with me. So they got me to a place where you kind of got to like him because he's just frustrated. I just want to win. He's like a car that starts and just takes off without warming up. I want to go. I just want to go. Come on. Why won't you guys go with me? And I'm not grounded at all, but the two other characters help ground him. So yeah, it was just reeled in by Josh and Kyle and by the writing. And it's a challenge to just try to make Rock likable, because I want things my way. Why can't I get it my way? He's a very frustrated creature.
A very frustrated creature. Thomas, as far as the storylines go, and as far as everybody getting the scripts, is everyone in the same room together, or do you do it all separately?
Occasionally we are. Occasionally we're all on at the same time, which is a lot of fun. It's also very chaotic. So sometimes we're all on at the same time, and sometimes we're all separate. But the most fun ones are obviously when we're together in the same place, because then it's really nice to get into a flow. Although I will say, because Carlos and I improvise a lot on our other show that Ron's also been on, like, we don't really improvise that much on this show because it's a very, very well scripted show. Like, the scripts are really, really funny. So usually it's just sort of about like bringing what's on the page to this show.
Ron, at any point when everybody's going through what were we gonna say, Carlos?
We have a very tight roadmap, and it works. It's sweet science, and it's executed very well.
Awesome. Do you ever look like it should help, but before the scripts or after the scripts and be like, this is totally Thomas, this is totally Ron, this is totally me, this is how I would react?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, for sure. They definitely have a handle on who we are as people a little bit, even if it's slightly over the top. But Ron, you do some modeling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hand modeling,
Crazy.
foot. Yeah.
Eyebrow.
Hand and foot mostly.
I've seen some of your eyebrow work. It's
Foot.
amazing.
Okay.
It pays the bills, right?
That's right.
And then Carlos, final thing here. Yo quiero Taco Bell. That was one of the things that we talked, we said so many times. It's, where's the beef? There's so many
Yeah.
of these like food, slogans that like live on. I mean, what was it like to be a part of that? And then knowing that like people associated, your voice with something that was so iconic.
It was very surreal. The most iconic thing weird, surreal thing that ever happened to me was being on Hollywood Squares and hearing, "I'll take Carlos Alazraqui to block." And I've like all over a voice for a Taco Bell food commercial. So very iconic time, very wonderful. And I can only hope and predict that this show ends up in that same kind of iconoclastic pool where people just go, man, that show, rock, paper, scissors, those guys were fantastic. So yeah, it was a wonderful experience. I hope to recreate that with this as well.
Carlos,
And look,
I hate to
I'm upstate by Yorkie. I quit.
No, can you do a voice for this dog right now? Just do it.
Yeah, this is my owner. My owner's name is Tom, and he likes to pick me up and exploit me so that people will think he's nice, but really he doesn't feed me a lot. Let me go. I don't want to be held.
Perfect.
Put me down. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was the best moment of my day. Thank you all so much for your time today. Rock, paper, scissors coming to us on Nickelodeon.
Thanks, Rudy.
Thank you.
Thank you.